We shall begin by looking at what management is. It's interesting to know that every one of us are managers in one way or the other. We have 24 hours in one day, and we all have goals and targets, or call it expectations. We all make choices out of several alternatives, and we organize ourselves, get to reach out the things that are needed for us to meet our expectations every day. This morning when you woke up, you made some decisions, like what to wear, what to eat, where to go, what to do. All of these things were planned out and executed. These are all part of management. And in this lesson, we are looking strictly at the management of education. What is education? Education has been generally accepted to be the provision of a series of learning experiences to students for the purpose of imparting knowledge, values, attitude, and skills, so that they may become more valuable and productive to themselves and the society in which they live. Education equips one to be all that the person wants to be. An educated society is a developed society, a progressing society. In Nigeria, for instance, like in other countries, education is seen as the most important means of national development. So, targets are set, and resources to enable these targets to be realized are put in place. Here are some random pictures of school and facilities that will help us understand what we're talking about. This is how it works. There are national goals, or individual goals, or goals, something that you are setting before you as an expectation to be achieved. For instance, the school you are looking at there is a product of somebody's thoughts and aspirations. As a result, the questions we are asked: how do we meet these expectations? What kind of schools can we set up? What type of facilities are needed? What type of learners are needed? And all these requirements were put in place through logical, carefully planned and approved stages. After that stage, the operational structure of the school was put in place. The human resources, the physical facilities and everything. And then the structure of operations now gave rise to the end result, which is goals achieved. At the end of the school day, reports will show clearly whether the objectives of the school have been achieved or not. When talking about goals, there are basically 4 sources of goals for an institution of education. First is the proprietor, who may either be the government, a corporate organization, or an individual. The government set out criteria and targets to be achieved. The next is the individual parents and students, who also have their goals for participating in education. These goals determine the input, whether human or material resources, and they are carefully planned through various approved stages and put in place. But the inputs are nothing by themselves. They have to be effectively and efficiently put to use within a workable structure. That is what we call school organization or organizational structure. The school structure is a systematic arrangement of functional role positions that are interrelated in a manner that facilitates effective communication, division of labor, conducive working environment, and ultimately the achievement of set goals. Meaning of educational management. Several attempts have been made at explaining the meaning of educational management. One of such attempts is by Professor Bush, who says that education management is a field of study and practice concerned with the operation of educational organization. He added that educational management has to be centrally concerned with the purpose or aims of education. This is very important because goals provide the crucial sense of direction to the management of education at national or institutional levels. Unless this link between the purpose and management is clear and close, management is sure to suffer frustration. As a matter of fact, a stress on the procedure at the expense of educational goals is like traveling with a sound car to nowhere. If the person traveling does not know where he is going, how does he know when he arrives? Educational management has also been thought of in different other ways. For instance, some people see it as a process, others see it as an art or a science or a discipline. As a process, educational management is described as the process of planning, organizing, directing, controlling, and evaluating educational activities, projects, and programs in order to achieve educational goals. As an art, educational management is seen as the art of employing necessary skills, experiences, and intuition in the planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, observing, reporting, budgeting, and evaluating educational activities. As a science, educational management is a technique of applying principles and facts to ensure that educational goals are achieved through harnessing human and material resources. It involves observations, experimentation, and trying out possible outcomes based on the established principles and making decisions based on perceived cause and effects. However, it has been argued that educational management as a science cannot be entirely realistic because of the divergence in human nature, which is the key element in the operation of educational activities. As a discipline or profession, educational management is an academic discipline, can be seen as a substantive body of knowledge of the concepts, theories, principles, and their practical applications to achieving the goals of the education systems and institutions. Scope of educational management. The scope of educational management is very wide. It covers such areas as the history and theories of management science, the roles and responsibility of educational managers, their managerial skills, a study of educational planning at macro and micro levels, which involves an understanding of the goals, principles, approaches, and procedures of planning and educational administration. It also covers areas of communication, information and management system, decision making, problem solving, and developing effective team spirit. Staff recruitment, training and capacity buildings, and retention techniques of staff. Provision and utilization of physical and material resources for optimum goal realization and cost effectiveness. Timetabling for curricular and co-curricular activities. Staff and student motivation. Planning and conducting meetings. Creating and maintaining a conducive school climate and a positive image. Keeping accurate and reliable school records, both statutory and non-statutory. Evaluating and reporting school activities to appropriate stakeholders, community relations, budget and finance, and such like things. Importance of educational management. The study of educational management equips students and school managers with the various theories of management science, which defines and describe management roles and responsibilities, so that they will develop and improve on their managerial skills. It facilitates understanding of the goals, principles, approaches, and procedures of educational planning at micro and macro levels. It also helps in the development of decision-making and problem-solving techniques. It helps in developing the art of creating successful teams. And indeed, it fosters the understanding of the scope of educational management and helps the development of necessary skills to efficiently and effectively take on the science and art of educational management. Objective of educational management. The basic objective of educational management include the understanding of the concept of educational management, various functions of the educational institution, the roles and function of educational manager, the essential components of effective classroom management, and the creation of awareness of the different structures and levels of educational management and the characteristics and quality of institutions, as well as strategies of improvement. Another objective of educational management is that it sensitizes students towards effective management of human and material resources, and to develop and appreciate the role of various administrative authorities in the maintaining of educational institutions. Function of educational management. The function of educational management are those functions which are performed by managers. They are generally planning, organizing, directing, motivating, evaluating, and decision-making. These functions are based on the 14 principles of management postulated by Henry Fayol in 1916. They include division of labor, authority, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, subordination of individual interests, centralization, remuneration, the Scala scale, material and social order, equity, stability, initiative, and esprit de corps, which is team spirit. In general, the various functions of educational management can be summarized as follows. To guarantee that sound policies, goals, and objectives are formulated in a given school, and that the methods are determined for achieving the objectives. To procure the resources necessary for the achievement of the objectives. 3. To organize and coordinate the activities of school in order to achieve the set objectives of the school with maximum efficiency and effectiveness. To influence and stimulate human resources available to integrate the school and its services into a proper social order. To evaluate the school's activities in accordance with the plans made. Looking at all of these, one will not hesitate to say that educational management is the catalyst which facilitates all educational projects and programs. Thank you.